They aired it all out. They pulled out each other's old school pictures. Is it over? When will it end? Claressa versus Remy Ma. Let's talk about it. They 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 talk about it. Welcome back to She Could Talk the Podcast. I'm your host, Gangalee. Hey, and that's Gangalee on all streaming platforms if you want to check out my music. Just look for the glasses, look for the locks, you can find me there. You could tell me if I could rap or not, okay? But over here on YouTube, on She Could Talk the Podcast, this is where I react to everything. I react to news, sports, crime, musicians, politicians, YouTubers, TikTokers. If they're talking about it, I'm talking about it, okay? Okay, so we know last week there was a lot of drama in the Papoose, Remy Ma, Claressa Shields love triangle, right? A lot was aired out. A lot went viral. Shout out to you all, because I myself even went a little viral. Not that I'm happy to have went viral off of this particular situation, but shout out to you all. Shout out to my new subscribers. Welcome over to She Can Talk. Thank you for taking interest in my content and coming on over. Shout out to my new subscribers. Shout out to everyone for coming back, liking and subscribing. But to get back on track, it didn't end, right? When I thought it was going to be like a quick roundup of things that they were going to say, they're back and forth and aired it out. That actually wasn't all of it, right? We come to find out that there was a little bit more. They started putting out their old school pictures of each other. You know, like Remy put out a picture of Papoose without his hat on. You know, that was crazy. Then there was a picture of Claressa Shields when she was younger with like a Jerry curl type of look going on, right? Craziness, right? So it was a lot of airing out, a lot of going back and forth and some below the belt shots for real. No pun intended. But here we are. Something though that did pique my interest, because like I said in my post and my video, I got a lot of feedback, a lot of, just different, feedback and just different opinions from men and women. So shout out to you all, but it was men and women that both were, airing their sides, giving their opinions, who they were siding with, whose side they were on, who was wrong in their eyes. It was a lot going on. But something that came up a couple of times that I wanted to kind of go back to, because maybe for me, it's not something that I deal with on a daily basis, but I wanted to get some insight into it. I've seen a lot of the words pick me being thrown around and wifey, or stuff being thrown around by both men and women, right? So and guys, keep me honest here, actually, because me, I like to dabble in as much facts as I can. Let me see here. I just typed in pick me and it said pick me girl. So it says, let's see what pick me girls are. Okay. What are pick me girls? Now, this is so funny. They literally have like their wiki definitions. So they say pick me girls lean into outdated gender stereotypes to put other women down for male attention. She projects misogyny onto others and even herself by putting down classically girly hobbies or interests. A pick me girl would try to differentiate herself by saying things like, girls are so catty, that's why I prefer hanging out with guys. She would make excuses to be with the guys. You all gossip about me, so I hang out with the guys. Interesting. That's very interesting. Learn something every day. So they're saying, there's girls that are pick-me girls, and there are, girls that are, wifey material, right? So to me, this makes sense here as far as, I can see the difference between the two. But do I agree with it all? Maybe not. To me, it's just like I don't want to put myself in anyone's categories. I feel free to live my life, right? But that's very interesting, because I heard a lot of people referring to perhaps Claressa Shields as saying that she was trying to be a pick-me girl, and I don't really feel like she fits into this stereotype. Well, maybe when she said they all gossip about her, who knows, right? Maybe, so I'm trying to figure it out. That's why I wanted to circle back, because I thought it was interesting. I saw a lot of comments on a short that I did, and I'm talking about crazy, overwhelming amount of comments, and it kept on coming up saying like pick me versus Wifey, right? So I wanted to kind of dive into it and get some more insight into it from you all. Join me in the chat. You know how I do. But and I also wanted to come back with some examples for you all as to why I felt, in my last episode when I said I feel like Claressa Shields needs to chill with the talking about their relationship, her and Papoose's relationship, so publicly, so frequently. And the reason why is because it's kind of overshadowing what she's doing, right? Now, for example, she has a fight coming up, I believe July 26th, which is a big fight for her. And one of the main reasons why she's doing a lot of the promo runs that she is doing currently is because she's promoting that fight, right? But in the midst of these promo runs, the question that constantly gets brought up is about her relationship with Papoose. Okay? And we're like, dude's not even divorced yet. He literally just had a meltdown on, IG Live last week. Can we stop asking this girl about such a volatile situation that really technically does not have anything to do with her? And it's kind of cringy asking her different questions that could potentially make it messier, right? So I think, just like I said on my the last time I reacted to this situation, I think whoever's in charge of publicists or the public relations team should really reconsider doing having like a prerequisite coming out on the writer where we're like, hey, listen, we're not going to ask these questions, we're not going to talk about Pap, we're not going to mention the relationship, don't ask her about that, keep it strictly to the fight, strictly to the BS talking about the fight, like ramp up the fight, because let's get these ticket sales going for this fight, and let's not overshadow her moment with someone else's messy divorce, right? Because this is not even involving her other than she's dating this guy right now. So that's why I was leaning towards maybe keeping it private for a little bit, right? So here's an example of why I say that. So she was on she did several promo runs, right? Several, where she's been out here of course, like I said, promoting the fight. And the question keeps coming up. I've even seen it where for the thumbnail for some of these interviews, they're using Papoose and her in the thumbnail, but the fight is supposed to be promoting her fight. And I'm like, come on, guys, that's messy. So this is an insert of an interview she did, and I will give the credit to the interviewer. I believe it's like Daily with Blake Daily, Blake Live. I will give you the details in the comments because I like to give credits. But this is a snippet that I wanted to highlight of one of Claressa's recent interviews from this week. So let's get into it, and of course I'm going to react to some things that stuck out to me. So the love triangle, here we go.
Hey, we about to go run.
Yeah.
We finna get the bag.
I would not want to deal with you either.
And they be like, yeah. That's how my sister was. She'd be like, girl, bye.
Yeah,
I ain't doing it with you. So yes, I think older men are, from my experience, you want a man that's seasoned and he done been through some things already. So you don't have to go through the same stuff because you already been through it.
And do you feel like you've been engaged before? Mm-hmm. Do you think this is it?
Girl, you a hot mess.
I want to know. She'll tell you. I'm like, are y'all getting married or not? Are we getting married? Like,
case in point, right? Now, this interviewer is doing her job, right? She wants to get to the juice, the nitty gritty, but some of this stuff can be circumvented or prevented if you have a publicist in place who's like, hey, these are the things we're not going to talk about during this time because we're focusing on this fight and we're trying to promote the fight. Right? So up until this point, she was asking her about her daily regimen, her training, her diet. She was asking her different things about how is it hard for her friends and family to keep up with her regimen, So those are all in line with the athlete, with a boxer who's preparing for a fight. Now, I haven't seen a lot of times, and I'm just using other boxers, male boxers, for example. I remember when I could just use, and I'm going back old school here, Mike Tyson. He had a lot of things going on, like marriage-wise. I remember he was married to Robin Givens, and all of that stuff was playing out in the media. But when he had a fight, he was like, this is what we're talking about. And that was that. I haven't really seen a lot of male boxers go through this, where they're doing their press run, but they're asking them about their wife, or they're like, well, what's going on with your divorce, or how's your love life? It's about the fight. And I feel like this could be potentially taken away from the shine, in my opinion. But this was the question that was asked to her. Do you think he's the one? Are you going to get married?
Okay. So, all right, I got you. So me and Pap love each other a lot. People don't know how much we love each other because we don't be on like online kissing and hugging, and we don't feel the need to do that. But we spend so much time together because we enjoy each other's time.
Y'all are friends.
Yeah, we are friends, and then we also lovers, and we even train together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
and to me, I think that's too much. That's why I think these questions should be prevented, because technically speaking, to us as the audience, right, we know the business. It's one thing like if your homegirl brings around a new guy that she's dating, and you may not know the guy is going through a divorce, right? You may not know all the details unless your homegirl discloses that information to you. You just meet her new friend, and you're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. But when you kind of know the wife, you kind of know what he's going through, you kind of know the divorce is, like they just officially agreed to file recently. Questions like this is cringy for her, in my opinion. It would be cringy for me if someone was coming to me like, hey, Gongali, what do you feel about your boyfriend? Are you going to marry your boyfriend that's currently married and going pending divorce? Like, that's not even finalized yet. Right, but you're asking her, are they getting? It's cringy to me, in my opinion. So that's why I said, I feel like someone should step in and circumvent these questions, and say we're focusing on her boxing match, and we will respect it if you just ask her questions pertaining to such. I just think it would just up the worth again, because you're just seeing it as a lot of this type of question happening on every show, not just this girl show. This is just an example I wanted to react to, right? But it's a lot of it happening that's kind of bringing down, like, it's to me, it's dulling out the, like, we're losing the momentum. It's overshadowing, I should say, the fight and the promo for the fight that's coming up July 26th. I'll give you a little shout out. All right.
Yeah, I saw that y'all were doing the
doing
They were saying he got you. They were saying he kind of had you.
Girl, my arm was messed up from my last fight. Don't do too much. He was so geek too. Like, yeah, so geek. I'm like, boy, beat me in a race.
The comments were like, damn, I think Pap got her.
Nah, Pap definitely got me that time. He blew me in the water. I said, you goddamn show off. And my shoulder, my shoulder was messed up from the last fight. But no, what was I saying? No, about. Okay, so is Pap the one? I believe that Pap is the one, but time tells everything, and I feel like time will tell that. But we have been planning our future together, and I just want to take it day by day. I don't want to look too far. We just take it day by day, and 99% of our days have been very good.
And to me, I feel like that was a great answer towards the end. I think Claressa Shields is a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she carries herself correctly. Everything about her is classy to me. You know what I'm saying? And she's a boxer. She's in one of the toughest, grittiest line of sports you could be in for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, you risk getting your teeth knocked out. You risk getting your facial bones and stuff broken and, etc. Coming from a rough fight, getting your eye sockets knocked out. So I give her credit every day. She's one of my favorites, because boxing is a favorite sport of mine. That's why I'm very familiar with Claressa Shields. But to me, I feel like, even though she cleaned it up at the end, and that was a great question, I feel like it's unnecessary. And it's not really helping to ask or answer these questions, right? But she did do great. But I just wanted to react to that. A few more. Let's get back into it.
Do y'all be slap boxing? Would he dare slap box with somebody like you? Men be playing, but
he play a lot. He play a lot now. Pap, he think he got hands and all that stuff and knocking people out. He think he just got them. And I was like, bro, quit playing, man. But we do, like, I think I practice my trash talk to Pap. Like, he do stuff, I be trash talking to him.
But he's good at trash talk back, so I assume it's
yeah. We be cracking up. oh, 50-50, or is he paying my bills? Is he buying me purses? Is he busy doing this and that?
So, like I said, I just go through the highlights. I didn't want to like do, but I'm going to put the link for this actual interview in my description so you can check out the full interview for yourself. Right? It was a good interview, and the girl did a great job, according to Blake. That's her name, I believe. But she did a great job. But I just feel like some of the questions kind of veered more into depth and went left, right? Where they should have been kind of mainly focusing on what she has coming up, her fight. And I feel like not only this interview, several interviews that I've seen recently has done the same thing, where it's kind of veered off to the left and focusing on a relationship. The biggest one being the Breakfast Club one that she did, where they that was like the catalyst of what happened last week, right? So I think that she did answer the questions well, and she carries herself well. I will never take that from her. She's a beautiful girl, but I think that she needs to put some type of prerequisite in place to say, hey, look, don't ask me about that. I have a fight coming up. We're promoting the fight. Let's focus on that. She shouldn't have to be always bringing it back to the fight with these interviews. Let's lay it out there. Listen, this is what we're going to talk about. This is what I'm promoting. So but she did good so far, right? But let's get back to it.
No, I think people need to focus more on being happy in your relationship. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think once you're happy and you really love somebody, that all those perks will come with it, because the man wants to take care of his woman. If you're with the man and he doesn't want to at least try to take care of you, I don't think that he's the one for you.
No.
So to me, right? And that's what I'm saying, like veering off of the sports into more of the personal side. And I get it, because there's two girls having a conversation. You want to like, girl, what you like? What's your boyfriend like? Boom, boom, boom. I get it. But it's kind of at the expense of the wife in this pending divorce, right? Now, some people might be like, oh, Remy did her stuff and, she made her bed. She has to lie in it. No, I'm not defending. Like I told you, I kind of am just defending overall love and overall human kindness, or kindness towards each other as humans, or having at least at the very minimum a little bit of consideration. So hear me out now, guys. Just hear me out. So imagine you're going through a public divorce, right? And your currently pending ex-husband's new girlfriend is having these heartfelt conversations or interviews online about her new love, which is your present pending ex, and you're having turmoil with even getting the divorce complete. And now you're like, well, why don't you complete the divorce if this is what you got going on? Like, leave me alone. I'm not saying that that's what's going on. I'm not defending Remy. I'm just saying, imagine having that going on. I can see where the interviews could potentially trigger a phone call or argument or a live, right? I can see it because it's ongoing, something personal to me, and you're celebrating it like this guy is great, but right now he's not great to me. He's not the Prince Charming in my story, and this still is my story. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's making any sense, but I try to look at every side of the triangle here, because it's deep. It's deep because she's celebrating new love while Remy's kind of trying to get rid of that old love, right? And but they're both publicly doing it at the same time, and it's weird. It's weird for us because we're in the group chat unnecessarily, but I also feel like it is weird, and I can see where some people will be like, oh no, this is pick me behavior, and some people like, oh, this is wifey behavior. So now on the wifey side of it, a lot of people are saying Remy Ma is trying to warn her about Papoose and saying, hey, Papoose is this type of guy you don't know. I don't know. I wasn't in a relationship. I'm not trying to be in the group chat, but what I will say is, and I said it before, the last time I reacted to their stuff last week, I said, it's 20 years built, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And they still have a young child that they have to both raise together as co-parents to some capacity. They're not going to be able to just air it out online and end it. They still are going to have to show up for that graduation, for whatever else is going on as life goes on, right? So it's going to have to be some healing process and some type of friendship or some type of at least cordial behavior between the two of them in the end. So they're going to have to see each other. It's airing out pretty bad. I just think that she should step out of it, like remove herself and just focus on the fight publicly. Now, if you're still chilling with him on the back end, y'all having a great time, do so. Do it privately. We know y'all chilling. We all know. We get it. But circumvent these questions. So that was just my me trying to react to that there. But let's get back to it. Let's see if it's a little bit more.
Now me, I'm a millionaire, so I don't. Now Pap got his own money too. I'm not. I've never.
But he's a
looked.
provider.
And that's the thing, like, it's too much. Like, trying to get into explaining the dude's pockets, what he can provide, what you can provide. It's no one's business. It's too much. It's too much. You know what I'm saying? So what? If you're a millionaire and he's a thousandaire, who cares? Like, it's too much. And especially as he's going through a pending divorce. My opinion, guys, my opinion.
And that's a spirit that it doesn't matter how much money you make. If you are a provider, then he wants to provide for you.
Right.
And look at this. Like, I feel like this is what we should be focusing on. Her boxing, her career. Like, she has a fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? July 26th, I believe. I hope I'm not giving the wrong date. Claressa, don't come for me. I hope that's the date. I'm trying to help. But I feel like that's what they should be focusing on versus who she's dating or what messiness is going on with the guy she's dating and his divorce. Leave that for the other people to speculate on, and you focus on your fight. That's what I kind of wanted to say about that. But in the vein of the wifey, pick me versus wifey behavior, because I can see where some people would say that, but I don't agree 100%. Maybe I feel like she's still young, and I feel like all women, regardless of a young woman or older woman, I feel like women, myself included, we are territorial, right? Whatever we like, we're gonna like. You can't tell us not to like it, okay? That's one thing first, and then we're gonna be territorial over it. They say that a female dog is more vicious than a male dog because she's the territorial one. In any animal, a bear, any animal, the mama bear is the more ferocious because they're protective, they're territorial, they built their nest, and they're going to protect it at all costs, right? So I can even see where she's protecting this new love that she has and this new feeling, this happiness, and I understand it. And that's why I'm telling her, and I just hope that someone hears me out there, you know. I love her. I'm sending nothing but good greatness to her, good cheer, positive energy, but just rein it in a bit and keep it private and kind of circumvent some of those questions in those interviews. But on to the wifey part of it, right? Because a lot of people, and I had to kind of refresh myself with timelines as well. A lot of people were saying that, this came out first. Like Remy found out about Pap and Claressa and aired it out, and Papoose was wrong. And, that's why they're getting the divorce. And, Remy's not wrong. Like she got her boyfriend after the fact. And I was like, no, I don't think that was the case. I don't remember that being the case, right? So I do remember where they went to.
We love our next guest. She needs no introduction.
I remember we went to, here we go, Fox News, New York. Fox 5, I should say, in New York. They had her on the show to promote her new rap league. Remember last time I told you all, this is my realm. Once again, I love stuff like this. I follow it closely. So I was super excited to see Chrome 23, to see Remy, putting a league together for the women. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was dope. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the greats in the female battle, world getting that extra shine on the level that she was bringing it or presenting it to us, right? So in the vein of her promoting Chrome 23 early out, she went on Fox News in New York and said, hey, I'm promoting my new rap battle league. So I wanted to get into this a little bit and react to it because it's old, but this is before she exposed she exposed Papoose and Claressa. This is before the freestyle battle that I reacted to, which was still older, on my last whole reaction to the, digital divorce drama between Pap and Remy. This is before all of that. Allegedly, because I don't have facts on that, so I'll say allegedly, this may even be before Papoose allegedly put hand to mouth on Easy. Okay? This may even be before that. So this was when she was on Fox News promoting Chrome 23. So let's get into it. And I'm going to react to it.
She's a friend of Good Day New York. We all know Grammy nominee Remy Ma. But what you may not know is she has her own battle rap league. It's called Chrome 23. She has with her one of the hottest names in the game right now, Remy and Easy the Block Captain. Join us right now. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I got to ask you, how's the family?
The family is great.
How's
Everyone's doing good.
Papoose?
He's good. He's the head of hip hop at TuneCore now, so he's working on that. And
So let me pause off the rip, because it's New York. Off the rip. You've been on Love and Hip Hop. You've promoted Black Love for years. I remember they did like the BT Cypher. They did so many different, musical collaborations between the two of them promoting Black Love, Remy and Pap, right? New York is supporting them 100% because that's the hometown. I'm from New York. I love them together. Now, should I say they should stay together and have a toxic relationship? No, I'm not saying they should stay together and be toxic. If it doesn't work and it's not working for you, leave. Divorce, leave. I get it. I respect that because I wouldn't not ever want anything to be violent. I would not ever want them to, at the expense of their children, like make it as healthy as possible. The separation or the healing on the road back to reconciliation, whichever they choose. Because humans are humans. We can't say it should be final cut because we're not in the relationship, right? And we'll tell someone what to do and not even follow that advice, right? I've seen it happen. So I'm not one to say this is what anyone should do. But New York was rocking with Papoose and Remy. Look what this news reporter, very first question she asked.
Right now, Remy and Easy the Block Captain. Join us right now. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I got to ask you, how's the family?
the family is great.
How's
Everyone's doing good.
Papoose?
He's good. He's the head of hip hop at TuneCore now, so he's working on that. And the baby, she's running the house as usual.
And my guy, Fat Joe.
Joe is in Thailand right now. We hope that he's, behaving.
It wouldn't be Joe if he wasn't misbehaving.
I'm like, don't just go over there eating anything crazy, okay? Just stick to what you know. He's a big guy. He likes to eat, so you got to make sure he's okay.
So Remy, you're breaking glass ceilings in this battle rap. What's going on?
Well, a couple of years ago, I had this idea that I was going to start a battle rap league. And one of my main reasons behind it, because I started noticing the disparities between the females and the men. Like, the pay gap was so huge.
So before we go deep into it, you know what I'm saying? See Remy right here. I want you to pay attention to this montage really quick because around this time I was super hyped because I'm respectively fans of all of these girls here. I've, watched them grow, watched their careers. So I was hype about this. But what is kind of crazy, but notice the goal and the objective of her league and what she says it was. So far, she says, because she noticed the pay gap between the female rap battle participants versus the male in the league. It was a big difference in pay gap and she wanted to kind of correct it or at least close it to the best of her ability. But pay attention to the montage of rappers, which I'm going to shout them all out because I love all of them. They're pretty dope. But pay attention to the montage of rappers that were supposed to be the face of the league.
That it was disrespectful, and a lot of people may not know, but I come from battle rap, and I just felt like had I not had the opportunities I had, like to meet Big Pun and Joe, and have hit records and Grammy nominations, I could have been one of these girls with a family, and this is my career.
All of them, Official, KCJ, Yoshi Bree, yo, shout out to all of them. I just caught goosebumps because all of them be going in. But that's, even right now, I'm catching goosebumps because the lineup was crazy. But let's look at it one more time.
Between the females and the men, like the pay gap was so huge that it was disrespectful.
So
and a lot of people may not know, but I come from battle rap, and I just felt like had I not had the opportunities I had, like to meet Big
Prestavia, Brooklyn,
Pun and Joe, and have hit records.
Yoshi G, San Francisco, KCJ.
Had the opportunities Texas, I had, like to meet Big Pun and Joe.
Yoshi G, San Francisco. That's one of my faves right there.
And have hit records.
KCJ, Texas.
Grammy nominations. I could have been.
Official. NOLA. I'm telling you. I got goosebumps right now because these look them up. Like, these girls go crazy. Okay, so when I saw this, I was hyped.
One of these girls with a family, and this is my career, and I'm being, treated the way they're being treated. I would want somebody like myself with the power to come in and change things. But when I started it, I thought it was one thing, and 1 year later, because we're officially 1 year in,
right,
I'm like, okay, this is not as easy as I thought it was. And then I started incorporating some of the guys into it, and we're here now. And Chrome 23 is actually a real player in the battle rap game. So
wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Easy's everybody's talking about Easy. Easy the log captain. So what's it like working for this league now?
Oh, it's a great experience. I've been in battle rap for a long time, but transitioning through different leagues, you can tell the different atmosphere and the different things that you get working with Chrome 23. So it's been a great experience.
So I'm so curious about battle rap because you have to do so much research on your.
Is this when the matching outfits started?
Opponent, right? And it can get dirty.
Yes, it can.
How dirty can you get?
Oh, yeah.
Now check this. To me, I felt was crazy, which was one of the reasons why. Another additional reason I wanted to highlight the women that was supposed to be the face of Chrome 23. But in addition to that, a little bit of foreshadowing may have taken place right here. Let's listen.
I don't think there's any
there's no limit.
There's no limits,
you gotta
right?
Pray.
So what do you wear? Body armor? How do you keep yourself together? When those things, they're going deep. They're talking about your family. They're talking about things that may hurt you.
I think for the most part, most battle rappers, they try their best to live a certain way so that people don't have things the second. I think and correct me if I'm wrong, the second that something happens in their life, they're like, oh my God, I hope they don't find out about this, because it's a possibility. You might hear.
Do you guys remember when I reacted to his battle versus Geechee Gotti in their last, when I showed Papoose in the meltdown? And I highlighted that for a reason, because he basically aired out their situation and confirmed the punch and all that stuff that was heard around the internet world. This was before that. That's why I said there's a little bit of foreshadowing, because the lady said, how do you guys prepare for a battle? You have to have on body armor, because they can talk about your family, they can talk about anything. How do you prepare for that? And she proceeds to say, they prayed, oh my God, I hope they don't hear about that. Ooh, interesting.
For 9 minutes and then 3 rounds in front of a crowd on pay-per-view.
Has that ever happened to you before, Remy Ma, where they totally knocked you off your game a little bit?
That never happened to me. I saw somebody the other day. I think I'm the first person that may have invented personals. The battle that everyone knows me for from way back when. I kind of personally went into the girl's situation, and she kind of speaks to me now, but I don't think she's ever really gonna like me.
What about you, Easy? Because you're getting ready, right, for a
shout out to Lady Luck.
Big battle rap coming up soon?
No, we just left one.
You left one?
Yeah, we just left one a few months.
Last month.
Last month. I thought you might have had something coming up this summer. No?
It's working. Yeah, we're working on it. We're working on it right now.
Okay. The problem is,
I was trying to get some inside information here.
The problem is this. His last one.
For me, when I first saw this, when this first aired in this original time frame, I was like, that looks more like a couple. That's not like a man. Why is there not a female battler, MC there to represent the league that's supposed to be an all-female league? Who is this guy? And, that was the questions that was going through my, head watching this. And I said, they're matching. They look like a couple. They look like a couple, right? So this was the stuff that was going on, floating around in these internet streets long before we found out about Claressa and Pap. Long before, we found out that them two were even messing around. These two right here.
It was big. Right. He pretty much had one of the biggest names in battle rap. We oversold out Sony Hall. Line down the block, around the corner. We made it to, I think, 1 million views in about 4 days. Right. We're currently at 2 million views in a month. And it's where do we...
And so I gotta just say real quick, they were going up. She definitely was. And she brought this guy in, and everything was, it was going up. He was getting a lot of battles. Look at the crowds, right? The crowds were growing. But then when that battle happened, and this is my opinion, guys, so keep me honest. Keep me honest. Join me in the comments, guys. Keep me honest. I, in my opinion, feel like after it kind of got exposed on so many different levels, people started maybe distancing or removing themselves from the cipher, right? Or kind of put a little distance between them. Like it wasn't a flex to battle, easy to block captain. I haven't seen anything as recent, on a big scale for him. Put a link in my comments if there's a battle I missed. That was a big one after all of this, after the Geechee Gotti. And let me know. But I kind of feel like could it have possibly put a chink in the Chrome 23's armor? This whole infidelity, etc. thing, right? Because this was when it on the way up, and it looked a little side eye-ish. I was looking at it like, well, it still looks a little sus. Where are the girls that are supposed to be battling?
Go now, so we have to kind of be strategic on who the next opponent is, and because of the way he done it, everybody's kind of gunning for him.
Yeah, so it could be anybody, I guess, at this point.
Because every rapper wants to battle you, Easy. What does that feel like? Do you feel like you got a target?
Yeah, I feel like Thanos. Yeah, but no, it's good though, because it's also job security.
That's nice.
So,
okay.
You know what I mean? Like that. So, yeah. So that's
Remy,
good.
close the gap a little
what's
bit.
been happening with the women, and I'm very proud of that. What I had to do, I started out just doing strictly females. And I noticed because it's a male-dominated culture, they weren't really coming out for the women like that. So I started I was investing in hair and makeup and wardrobe, the things that guys like on women. I did that, but they're really talented too. So it's like, okay, once we got them here, they'll be good to stay. But I started incorporating bigger male battles into the whole card, and that's what you call like a event. It's a card, so it's kind of like boxing.
Thank you for schooling me.
It's kind of like boxing.
So let me ask you all, how do y'all feel about that? And maybe it's just the MC in me because I am a rapper, guys. So how do y'all feel about that? Because in the beginning, she kind of came in like a, I don't know, like a supporter, a activist, an advocate for women in the rap battle league. And she said, hey, it was a different pay. For the women, it was a different pay gap there, or a big pay gap, and I wanted to fix that, and I wanted to give these women, highlights, and highlight them and kind of, decrease the pay gap, etc. Right? Give a league for them. For her to pivot literally in the same interview and say, well, I had to start bringing in bigger male artists and getting a bigger card, etc., etc. Right? So in the same interview, or the same sit-in, she went from, hey, this was going to be a female rap league, but the money ain't there. I got to pay for hair and makeup. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate some male battles. My opinion. So how much of an advocate is that really? I don't know, guys. I'm just observing, but I'm asking you all, how much of an advocate is that? That was a 180 pivot and not even a 9-minute interview.
No, I was like, what?
So I would, I'm incorporating some of the bigger name guys so that people are gonna come out to them. And guess what? Before you get to them, you have to watch All My Girls and watch them be totally amazing. And then now a lot of them are getting booked more in other leagues. Other leagues pretty much feel that they have to book more women because women are hot right now. And if you're not putting them in, you're like out of the loop. And they're also getting paid a little bit more. So I'm happy. We're on the right path. Eventually, my goal is to not need them at all. And then we could just be all women. But, they kind of...
But Easy we need right now.
I know, right? Okay,
So, nice cleanup. Nice, you know what I'm saying? And it made sense. I'm not hating at all. I feel like she definitely had a nice goal there. But it kind of didn't come to a complete witness, right? Because I thought, and I was hoping, because I was all in watching and engaging during all of these times, I was kind of hoping that it would have been just like she said, eventually the bigger cards start becoming, the women, and because it's a women's league, and then maybe reverse it, maybe have some of the guys open up and be the opening cards, their battles, and then have the women on the bigger cards. But we just never saw it. Oh, I haven't. Guys, correct me out there if I missed anything, because I do be all over the place and I jump in and out of different timelines. So let me know. But yeah, I just wanted to say there that I don't think that either of them should have been having any type of interviews like this, publicly talking about their relationships until they both got it cleaned up and finalized, right? I feel like Claressa should definitely have someone circumvent those questions and prevent her from engaging in that topic, especially right before her fight. Focus on the fight. And have you noticed, just to kind of go back to what Papoose said, remember he said, notice since they've been, separate and they're going through the divorce, that you haven't seen them publicly. Easy to block Captain and Remy. I kind of agree with him. Now, in my last reaction to this whole situation, I said if you listen in the background, it sounded like Easy was there with her, but he wasn't on camera. And we now have confirmed that it was Easy and he wasn't on camera. Okay, gotcha. But notice that though, there is no public display of her and Easy these days. It could be possibly because she's just trying to have a clean divorce and then move on with her life and her relationship and kind of get that out the way, because it was messy in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, this was messy to me, my opinion. But maybe she's kind of dialing it back a bit to kind of clean it up and move on, right? It could be. But at the same time, I feel like in the vein of that, Claressa should kind of do the same thing and don't have them overtake or hijack your interviews about this, about their divorce, you and Papoose's relationship, none of the above. Focus on your fights, focus on you. You got that movie, you got everything that's blessing and blossoming for you. Focus on that. And like I said before, I'll say it again. I can't tell you who to love. I can't tell you who to rock with or roll with. But just kind of do it privately. Let's rein it in a bit. And kind of remove us from the group chat. But rein it in a bit so you guys can have a life and enjoy it together privately. That's my opinion. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Definitely join me in the chat. And once again, y'all, before I go, I want to say shout out to you all. Shout out to you all for once again coming through, liking, subscribing, turning on your notifications, sharing it. I didn't even know y'all was sharing it like that. So thank you for sharing my videos, my content, for coming back, for engaging with me in the comments, And I have a couple of things, some special events that's going to be coming up for you all real soon, guys, real soon, because I want to celebrate you all. I tell you this every time, as much as I can. I would be talking to no one if I did not have you all to talk to. So thank you for continually coming back and joining this conversation over here at She Could Talk. And you know my motto, I'm going to hit y'all with that before I go. If you like anything I do, tell a friend. If you don't like anything I do, tell a friend. And from my lips to your ears, you know I love you. But I need you to go ahead and love each other and to go out there and spread that love. Be good to each other. Be kind. And come back over here and join me in the comments. Let's have these conversations, all right? And until next time, it's your girl Gangali. It's She Could Talk the podcast, and I'm out. Peace.